Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and make sure you hit that like button. We're here for episode 2 of this Harvard Legacy. We are going into the Midnight Madness game. Then you will get to see the season preview led by Brian Gumbel as we highlight the top players in the nations. But first, we're hopping into this game, and this is a very important scrimmage here because this is our kind of a mixture of the first and second unit on both teams. And here's the thing, we don't know who's going to start, who's going to, have a lot of playing time for us, who's going to be killing, except for AJ Starr and Falkner. I think those are the only guys that we really know that are going to be starters. Everybody else is kind of playing for a spot. So here we go, the Crimson versus the white team, and we'll be starting out this game controlling the white team, and here we go. So the Crimson does start out with the ball, and the first shot is off the mark that time, and that was actually Lionel Shorts with the first three. So here's Jamil Aziz on the white team taking it to the hoop, and he's getting the first bucket of the game, as we're going to be looking to him to have a good freshman season. I don't know what kind of role he's going to play, but it's going to be a pretty good one. So here is Harrison dribbling up the ball, and Harrison is a good shooter. I'd say he's one of our better shooters on the team. And here's Falkering inside with the and one as he makes it 4-0 as he does hit the free throw. So now on the next possession, here is Patterson with the jump shot, and there's Lionel Shorts on the boards. He's putting it up, and wow, if he can get some offensive rebounds, he's going to earn some clock. So here's Harrison dribbling up the ball, getting it to Aziz again. Aziz is driving the lane, and he's going to get fouled, and you got to foul him going to the lane. He is a bigger guy, 6'8", and he's going to be a force in his freshman season. So here is Harrison on the rebound, pushing the ball up the court, and he's going to dribble it, pass it to Aziz. Aziz going to see an open man on the wing. That's AJ Starr, and he hits the three-pointer, and that's where he's going to shine, hitting a lot of mid-ranges and three-pointers. So here is Sexton on the next possession, getting it up in the lane, and the little guy gets the layup on that. So now a 10-4 game here. The Crimson has the possession and passing out to Patterson, and Patterson hits the mid-range jump shot. Sexton on the assist. So now here is Dorsey on another possession, making it 8-10. He's getting in the lane, and he's one of our small ball centers. So now on the next possession here, 8-10 game, here's Lovingood getting in the game. He's driving to the lane, but that's a block by AJ Starr. What a chase down block that was. And if he can play defense like that, we're definitely going to need it in the ACC. So here's Lee on the rebound, passing it up to Colley, and Colley is going to try to get past the defender. He's not going to be able to do that. But here is the freshman Ortiz. He's dribbling and passing it into Falkering, who's going to lay it up and in. And that's going to make it a 12-18 game for the white. So now the next possession, here's a three-pointer this time from Lovingood. He's going to hit that one. He's not really a three-point shooter, but he's known for his defense. He hits that one. So now, a couple possessions later here, 11-12 game. Here's Ortiz, the freshman, passing out to Colley, and Colley's going to shoot the three. He's going to hit that one. He's got to earn some playing time. He's one of our lowest rating guys, but if he can hit the three, he can definitely get some playing time, So now here is a deep three that time by Sexton, as Sexton has 5 points and about 3 assists already to start this game. So now back on the white team, here's Aziz taking it to the rim, and he's getting inside, and it's going to be tough to stop him, like I said, with that length. So Lovingood here in the 16-19 game, 6.5 minutes left. Here is Shorts taking it to the rack, and nobody's there to guard him, and that's an easy 2 points. So now here is Starr dribbling up the ball this time, passing it out to Aziz, and Aziz going to pass it off to Leonidas for his first bucket of the game, our only center on the roster, as he is 7 feet tall, and it's going to be tough to replace that kind of size. But there is a block inside by Dorsey as he dribbles it up to Sexton, and Sexton tries to go up with it. Good defense by both teams. That's a block by Leonidas, and there's that defense that we're going to have. So now here is Starr dribbling up the ball. He's got an open lane to the cup, and he's going to lay that one in, making it a 25-18 game as the white, they show the offensive potential, as here's the Crimson back out on the next possession, passing out to Lionel Shorts, and he's going to get it out to Lovingood for his second three of the game. So now running the pick and roll with Harrison at the top of the key. Here is Harrison driving it to the rim, passing off to Lavietes. Lavietes is going to lay it in. So Lavietes is going to definitely, he's impressed me so far. He's playing good defense. He's getting a lot of easy shots. He's got 2 good ones already. And I think that, you know, using that size is definitely going to benefit us in this season. So now here's Aziz driving the ball to the lane. Can't get by his defender, but passing out to Kali. And Kali's going to hit the 3-pointer. And it's going to be nice to see him hit some threes because we're definitely going to need some bench depth. Here he is once again attempting another 3-pointer. There's Lavietes on the boards once again, 7 feet. You can't really stop that. So now getting towards the end of the first quarter, under a minute left. Here's Harrison trying to get past the defender. Passing it off to Aziz. Aziz is taking it into the lane. Another layup for Aziz. He's got 10 points in the half as this clock is winding down here in the first. So now here is Lovingood passing it up to Lionel Shorts. Lionel Shorts lays it in. And now we wind down this clock to under 10 seconds here. Shorts with a deep 2-pointer. He bricks that one. Aziz passing it up to Kali. Kali's going to attempt the long 3, but that one is going to be off. As we head into halftime, you can see the stats here. Aziz has 10 points. AJ Starr, 7 points, 2 for 5 from the field. Falkering is 2 for 4 from the field as well. He's got 6 points, 2 rebounds. Lavietes actually has 5 rebounds as well. And then on the Crimson team, Sexton has 11 points to lead the team, and not too much from anybody else so far. Lionel Shorts is having a pretty good game as well. So we do control the Crimson team here in the second half. And here we are trying to get some easy stops this time for Giordano as he gets an open 3, but he's going to brick that one, and Kali is going to have an open lane, and he's getting an easy bucket in transition. But now the next pass, here's Lee getting inside, but he gets blocked, and that's a great block that time after the steal by Lionel Shorts. So now attempting a 3, here's Patterson taking it to the hoop. He's getting fouled as look at this lead down to just 12 after that one. So now a 13-point deficit here for the Crimson team, and here's the white team in transition getting it to Kali, and Kali's laying it up and in and making it a 15-point game as this game is starting to open wide. As here's Falkering on the boards, and he's going to be our leading rebounder during this season, and he gets the 2 points on that one. So now down 17 is the Crimson, and they're turning the ball over. Here's the white team in transition, bricking a layup, but there's Lee on the boards, laying it up and in. He's getting the bucket as he's making it a 19-point game. So now here is Aziz with the mid-range jumper, hitting that one, and now it's a 21-point game in this one. So now James Harrison, there's Harrison passing the ball on the inside to Falkering. Falkering's laying it up and in for 12 points that time, and that's his first point since the first half. So now here's Harrison on the jump shot. Another open jump shot, and the white team is just torching the Crimson right now. The Crimson's not able to do anything. As here is Sexton passing it up and getting it to Lionel Shorts. He can't lay it up and in, but he does get fouled. But this lead is just falling fast as they're now down 29 points. And you know what's funny is that, you know, this white team has a couple of starters on it, and to see them go down like this, the Crimson I'm talking about, to see them go down like this, it's definitely alarming a little bit. That kind of lets us know that we don't have a very strong bench because our starters are way better than our bench. And I was hoping that this would be a closer game, but you could just see, I mean, they're just running away with it. The good defense, look at they're always in transition. Here's Ortiz, the freshman, but this time he's getting ripped. He's not a starter, but he's on that white team, and here's Lionel Shorts taking it to the rim. Finally a good play for the Crimson, and here is the white team back on the next possession. Here's Kali on the jump shot, but he's missing it. Lavietes is on the boards, and he's laying that one in as it's now a 34-point deficit for the Crimson team. So now 2.5 minutes left in this half, and we just cannot stop them as the white team is running away with this one. And here's the thing, we gotta learn to shoot a little bit. We're still learning our team, and it's definitely a learning process. And these first couple of games, I can't lie, they're probably going to be rough because we don't really know our team too well. But you know, we gotta at least, you know, put up some good numbers, get some good shots. And that's the main thing. We gotta get good shots. If we're just forcing up bad shots, that's a bad game plan. We'd want to run the motion offense, get our guys in space, and in transition, and we want to kind of limit the other team's three-pointers because I'm banking on that being the Achilles heel of this team, just giving up a lot of threes because we're not great defensively on the perimeter, and our strength is really inside. So we do go on to finish this game. The white team takes care of business versus the Crimson, 81-44, just a epic second half blowout as Jamil Aziz has 12 points, Falkring finishes with 18, and Leonidas finishes with 12 and 7 off the bench. Kali finishes with 13 as well. And this was kind of a, I don't know how to feel about this. We got to kind of see how the season's going to go. We are starting off the season versus Kentucky, but first, let's hop into the season preview with Brian Gumbel. I hope you guys enjoy it. This is In This Game, so stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go. I'll see you for the opener versus Kentucky.
Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Greg Gumbel here with my partner Clark Kellogg, bringing you the 2K Sports Season Preview Show. These are the top 5 teams in college hoops as we begin the new season. The Kansas Jayhawks come in as the #1 ranked team, followed by North Carolina, Memphis, Duke, and Michigan State. Clark, what's your take of the teams that make up the top 5?
Sometimes the top players in the nation and the best teams in the nation aren't necessarily together at the top of the poll. But going into this season, we have some of the absolute best players playing on the marquee teams. That's really exciting to me, Greg.
The Kansas Jayhawks are projected as the favorites here in the early going. They had a nice finish to the year, but it ended with a disappointing loss in the regional final.
They were so close to the Final Four, they could taste it. And the memory of that Elite 8 loss should be all the motivation they need this year to work just that little bit harder. We'll see if they can get over the hump this time.
North Carolina is in the #2 spot. They're a tough team, but they're going to have a very hard time surviving that vicious conference they're in.
Their regular season is going to be a melee with all the other tough teams in the conference. The key for them to survive is going to be consistency. They can't afford to drop any easy games.
Memphis comes in as #3. Their total of 33 wins last season was remarkable.
Winning that many games again is going to be extremely difficult, no matter how much talent they have. Not many teams play that many games, never mind win that many. They'll be on the verge of dynasty status if they repeat that performance.
Duke starts the year as the 4th-ranked team. Their dreams of tournament glory last year were quickly dashed in a first-round loss.
This year they have the potential to do much better than last. Last season they spent a lot of their energy getting to March Madness and were worn out once they got there. I'll bet they handled the journey to the tournament much better this time.
Michigan State is the #5 team. They had a wonderful year last season, finishing with 23 wins.
That 20-win plateau is one of those benchmarks in college hoops that immediately classifies you as an elite team. So they're going to have a tough act to follow. But if they simply play to their potential, they can reach that mark again.
Here's the next group of teams in our preseason top 25. What do you think of this group, Clark?
We've seen plenty of future national champions come out of this group from the middle of the top 25. I'm not willing to say just yet whether that is going to happen again this year, but a few teams certainly have the potential.
The Wisconsin Badgers, the #11 team, have stirred up a lot of talk in the offseason. Their tournament last year came to an abrupt end with a loss in the second round, Clark.
It can be demoralizing for a team not to get past the first weekend of the tournament, but they've had all summer to forget about that loss and instead build on the positives from last season.
The UCLA Bruins, the #8 team, have also generated a lot of interest. There's a lot of talk about what a close-knit group of players this team has.
The idea of team chemistry is often discounted, but if you saw this team play last season, it's more than just a concept to them. I expect that team-first attitude to carry over and be a big part of another successful year.
Okay, Clark, let's take a look at the teams that close out the preseason top 25 poll. How about this list?
I'm not convinced that all of these teams belong in the top 25. I don't want to pick out anyone in particular, but I think some teams that aren't on the list could make a pretty strong case as to why they belong here.
The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, the #25 team, could be one to watch. What stands out to you if you're trying to get a read on the character of this team, Clark?
Over the past few years, this team has shown an ability to overcome any adversity that comes their way. That toughness has become their trademark, and it will work for them again this season.
The Clemson Tigers, the #22 team, are also worth keeping an eye on. They rolled to second place in their conference last year in the regular season.
As good as that sounds, I think it was a bit of a letdown for them. They wanted to come out on top, and they probably still have a sour taste in their mouths from not getting it done.
We've come to the part of the show when we look at the top players in the nation and unveil the list of our preseason All-Americans. There before you are the 5 first-team All-Americans as we begin the season, and what a list it is. What's your take on the first-teamer at the top of the list, Clark?
Comer is a force to be reckoned with, Greg. He exploits every opponent weakness and then uses his skill to dominate games. No matter what, he'll find a way to get the job done and lead his team to victory.
As for our next first-teamer, Tennessee is more than willing to go into battle with him, Clark.
Abdullah is really something special, Greg. There's plenty to like about him as a player. He's got that deadly combination of smarts and physical skills that makes him so difficult to defend. A coach's mentality in the body of a world-class athlete. Any questions as to why he's on the list?
Next up is a player that's drawing comparisons to some of the all-time college greats. The Duke Blue Devils are fortunate to have him in their corner.
Williamson is a first-teamer without a doubt. He has such versatility. He can take it and rake it, get down the court with the ball and make plays. He'll be a nearly impossible matchup for their opponent.
Let's move on to a player who's worked very hard to earn his spot on the list. The North Carolina Tar Heel can depend on a solid effort from him each and every night.
May is the anchor of his team, and if they're going to the promised land, he's the one that's going to lead them there. We always talk about the guys with great hands. Well, he's got great feet. I love those happy feet. There are few players in the nation with better footwork than him, and that's what allows him to always be in the right position, whether it comes to rebounding or finding space for an open shot.
And finally, we have another superb player to round out the first team. The Oregon Ducks will probably get used to seeing him make the impossible look ordinary.
Number 0 already has opposing coaches drawing up game plans designed to stop him, but it won't matter what they come up with. Give him too much room and he'll burn you off the dribble, or play him tight and watch him find a teammate for an easy hoop. One way or the other, he's unstoppable.
Now let's move on to the second team All-Americans. Not such a bad list, huh? These elite players all have the potential to have historic seasons if the right pieces fall into place. The Kansas Jayhawks have built their team around this young man's talent, and I'd say that's a pretty good idea.
Jeffries was a very hard player to leave off the first team. If I had to pick some front-runners for the Player of the Year award, he would be right there on the list. I've seen him take over games even when he isn't scoring 30. There are some great scorers among these All-Americans, and he's one of them, but he does much more than score.
Our next player is a tremendous talent in his own right. Duke is in for a great year if he lives up to his potential.
Barrett is someone you could look at as last season progressed and see his improvement on a weekly basis. I have no doubt he belongs on this All-American team, and I think the sky's the limit for him this season.
We can all look forward to some very exciting highlights from this young man this year, the North Carolina Tar Heel. Hope to have this young man carry the load for them, and he looks up to the task.
Little has terrific skill in so many facets of the game. It isn't out of the realm of possibility to say that he might even be a little bit underrated. I know it seems far-fetched to say that about a preseason All-American pick, but I'm not sure people realize just what a huge year he's in for, Greg.
Our next All-American may have designs on the first team by the end of the season. Maryland has one of the most reliable go-to guys in the country in him.
Number 15 was one of the first players that came to mind when I was thinking of the top 10 players in the nation. The success of his team rests directly on his shoulders, and I believe he has the ability to take them all the way to the title.
Here is the final player to cap off our list of All-Americans, the Georgetown Hoya. Know who their fan favorite is going to be this year.
Borges is last but not least on the All-American list. His upside is higher than a lot of the other guys here because he has so much raw ability. He could jump to the first team this year if he harnesses all that ability into the complete package.
All right, Clark, thanks very much. Glad you could join us for the 2K Sports Season Preview. We hope you enjoy all the college hoops action ahead. So long, everyone.